So go ahead and start on your back, lying down. And just let yourself catch up with your breathing. Let your back of your head get heavy. Let your hips get heavy. Let your feet get heavy. And breathe in. Feel your belly rise and expand. And exhale everything out. Breathe in. And exhale everything out. One more time, big, slow, deep inhale. And slowly exhale everything out. As you let your lower back get heavy, slide the soles of your feet onto the ground, letting your knees point up to the ceiling. And then go ahead and windshield wiper your legs right to left. A few more times. And now bring your knees back to center and draw both knees into your chest and wrap your hands around your shins, coming into a little ball. And maybe it feels good to rock side to side here. Place one hand on each knee, so the right hand on the right knee and the left hand on the left knee, and then start to stir your legs, moving your hip sockets. There might be some popping. There might be some creaking, and then switch direction. All right, on this last one, hug those knees in. Now roll onto your side and slowly make your way into a seated position. Coming up nice and slowly. Cross your right leg in front of your left. Bring your hands to your knees. Let your eyes close or softly gaze in front of you. And then think about your spine getting nice and tall. Breathe in and slowly breathe out. Reach both arms all the way up overhead. Stretch through your fingertips, right and then left. And then let the right hand come all the way down. Reach the left arm up. Exhale, bend over to the right. Breathe here. And then come back up through center. Reach up, let the left hand come down. Reach the right arm up. Exhale, bend over to the left. And breathe here. Reach your right hand down, uncross your legs, place the left leg in front, reach your arms all the way up. Let your right hand come down and bend over to the right. This time add a little twist, look over your back shoulder, look up to the ceiling, look over your back shoulder and up to the ceiling, and then float through center, reach your right arm up, exhale over to the left. Add that little twist, look over your shoulder and look up, look over and up. Float both hands down. Roll your shoulders back 3 times. And then forward 3 times. And then slowly make your way into your tabletop position. Sorry, I'm making a face. My right shoulder is not behaving properly. Line your hands up underneath your shoulders. Line your knees up underneath your hips. Drop your belly. Big inhale. On your exhale, think about lifting up from the center of your belly, reaching the crown of your head down to the floor. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, round. Inhale forward. Exhale round. Come back to neutral. Reach your right leg back behind you and rock backwards and forwards over your right toes. Beautiful. And now reach your left arm forward. So you're balancing on your right hand and your left shin. If it's available, lift your right leg, left arm, and then lower them back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And lift. Hold here. Can you balance with your leg floating behind you and your fingertips reaching forward? Can you flex your right foot, drop your right hip, reach your left arm even more forward, getting long from your heel to your fingertips. And then exhale, bring your nose and your elbow, your knee and your elbow to meet. Reach back forward. I'm having trouble with some words tonight. Knee and elbow meet. Reach back forward. Knee and elbow meet. Reach back forward. Nice and slow. Last one. And then lower your foot and fingers, return to your tabletop position. Bring your fingertips so they face the outer edges of your mat and rock side to side. Bring your fingertips so they reach towards your knees, and if available, rock back and forth. If you can only do one at a time, that's fine. It's very sensitive. I keep working on this because I know that we're all looking at our phones, we're all typing on our keyboards, we're all doing stuff that stresses our wrist. All right, turn your fingertips back to the front. Reach your right arm, reach your left leg back, rock back and forth over your left toes. Now, while you're doing this, notice if the weight is even in your hands. Notice if you're shifting your hips to one side or the other, and see if you can stay in that alignment. Come back to neutral, reach your right arm forward, and now lift your arm and leg together. Exhale, lower them down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. As you're doing this, keep drawing your belly button up as you lengthen your tailbone. Press your right shin into the mat, left hand finding that balance. And now hold up here. Reach your right fingertips. Flex your left foot. Get long through your spine. And on your exhale, bring your knee and elbow to meet. Inhale. Exhale, contract. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. And then let your hand come down. Let your knee come down. You can wag your tail if that feels good. Curl your toes under. Let your hips sink back like you're coming into a child's pose. But press the mat away from you so you start to feel a stretch through your shoulders and your upper back, and a stretch through your toes where they're curled underneath you. From here, we're going to move into our downward facing dog. So start to press hard, heavier into your hands, and then peel your hips up, straightening your legs. Bringing your head between your arms. Go ahead and pedal your down dog out here. Right, left, left, right. Let your heels get heavy. Breathe in and breathe out. We're going to inhale, roll one vertebrae at a time forward into a high plank pose, nice and slow. Moving our shoulders over our wrists, holding our bodies above the mat. Now drop your knees, hug your elbows in, lower chest and chin. Untuck your toes, baby cobra. Come back up through tabletop, back into downward facing dog. Breathe here. Relax the space between your eyeballs. Release the tension in your jaw. Now inhale forward to high plank. Exhale, drop your knees, drop your chest and chin, untuck your toes. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale through tabletop to downward facing dog. Breathe here. Maybe you flutter your lips. Maybe you make a big sigh. And then one vertebra at a time, roll back forward into your high plank. Lower your knees, bend your elbows, lower your chest and chin, untuck your toes, baby cobra. Press back through tabletop into downward facing dog. Nice. And breathe here. One more breath. And now float your right leg up behind you. Lower it back down. Lift your right leg. Lower back down. As you're lifting this leg, notice how much you shifted the weight from one hand to the other. Can you get back to even? One more time. And switch legs. Lift the left leg and lower. Lift and lower. Keep the knees pointing down to the mat. We're not turned out here. One more time. And back to down dog. We're going to float the right leg up behind us. This time we're going to bend the knee. We're going to slide our right foot up between our hands, lower our left knee down, reach our arms up. Breathe here. Let your hips sink forward. One more breath. Bring your hands down. Step back to downward facing dog. One breath. Float your left leg up behind you. Bend your left knee, slide it up between your hands, lower your right knee down, reach your arms up, and breathe. Let your hips sink forward. Float your hands down, back to down dog. One breath. Float your right leg up, step your right foot forward, lower your left knee down, reach your arms up. Open them out into a T and give yourself a hug, right arm on top of left. And now lift your elbows, sink your hips forward. Unwrap your arms, bring them back down, step back to downward facing dog. One breath. Put your left leg up, step your left leg forward, lower your right knee down, reach your arms up. Open your arms out, give yourself a hug, left arm on top. Hips sink forward, elbows rise. One more breath here, and then release your arms down. Step back to downward facing dog. Put your right leg up, step your right leg forward, lower your left knee down, reach your arms up. Open up, right arm on top. Maybe you stay with the hug. Maybe you bring your back of your hands to meet, or you double wrap. Let your hips sink forward, lift your elbows up. Maybe you can gaze up towards the sky or the ceiling. One more breath here, and then exhale, fold forward, release, back to downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up, step your left foot forward, lower your right knee down, reach your arms up. Open out, give yourself a hug, left arm on top. Maybe you bring the backs of your hands together or double wrap. Let your hips sink forward, lift your elbows away from you. Maybe gaze up at the ceiling. And then release your hands down, step back to downward facing dog, and pause. Take a child's pose if you need it. Gaze forward at your hands and slowly walk your feet up to meet your hands, coming into a deep forward fold. Let your head hang heavy. Lay your chest down so that your chest and your stomach are connected to your thighs. Bend your knees to make this happen. Reach for opposite elbows. And then release your elbows and slowly roll all the way up, one vertebra at a time, pressing down through your feet, coming all the way up to stand, head coming up last. Roll your arms back, shoulders back, 1, 2, 3, and then the other way, 1, 2, 3. Bring your arms all the way up overhead. And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant your hands, slide your right leg back, lower your right knee down, untuck your toes, reach your arms up. Exhale your hands down, curl your right toes under, slide your left leg back to plank. Lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Untuck your toes, baby cobra. Exhale through tabletop. Curl your toes, downward facing dog. Take one breath. Step your right foot forward, lower your left knee down, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands down by your foot, curl your left toes under, step your left foot up to meet your right. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, reach your arms all the way out, palms touch overhead. Exhale, your hands down by your side. Inhale, bring your arms all the way up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant your hands, step your left leg back. Maybe you keep your knee lifted this time. Reach your arms up. Exhale your hands down, step back to plank. Lower yourself all the way down. Untuck your toes, baby cobra. Exhale through tabletop to downward facing dog. One breath. Reach your left leg up, step your left leg forward. Maybe you keep your right knee lifted this time. Reach your arms up. Exhale your hands by your front foot. Step your right foot to meet your left. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bring your arms all the way up, palms touch overhead. Exhale, hands down by your side. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, slide your right leg back. Maybe you keep the knee lifted. Inhale up, high lunge. Open your arms, give yourself a hug, right, left arm over right. Breathe here. Release your hands down, step back to plank, lower your knees, lower your chest and chin, untuck your toes, baby cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Float your right leg up, step your right foot forward. Inhale up, high lunge. Open your arms, right arm on top. Breathe here. Release your arms, hands by your foot. Step your left foot up to meet your right. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bring your arms all the way up, palms touch overhead. Exhale, your hands down by your side. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step your left leg back. Inhale, up, high lunge. Exhale, open your arms. Give yourself a hug with the right arm on top or interlace your arms into eagle wrap. Breathe here. Take 2 more breaths to find your balance. Maybe you reach your elbows up a little bit higher. Maybe you can reach your gaze up. Unwind your fingers, plant your hands, step back to plank. You can lower all the way down. You can knees, chest, chin, or if you're ready, go into your chaturanga halfway down. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Put your left leg up behind you, step your left foot forward. Come on up to your high lunge. Open your arms out to the side. Give yourself a hug or interlace your arms, left arm on top. Breathe here. Find your balance, reach your elbows up and away from you. And then unlace your hands, plant your hands, step back to plank. No, sorry, step forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. I'm all about an extra plank, don't get me wrong. Let your arms come down by your side. Breathe here. All right, come into your chair pose. Draw your hands to your front. From here, either keeping your hands at heart center or bringing them to your waist, lift your right heel up. Lift your right knee up, cross your right leg over your left. Sit a little bit lower. And then release that, come back up to stand on both feet. Reach your arms into your chair pose. Bring your hands to heart center, keep them here, bring them to your waist. Lift your left heel up. Bring your left leg up over your right. Breathe here. All right, release that, stand all the way up, arms come down by your side. Let's sit back. Bring your hands to heart center. Bring your right knee up and over. If available, double cross. Sit a little bit lower. Breathe here. Think about your hips still pointing to the front of your mat. And then release. Sit back into chair. Hands to heart center. Heel up your left heel. Lift your left knee up. Cross. Maybe that's as far as you go. Maybe you can double cross. Sit a little bit lower. And release. And then let your arms come all the way down by your side. Thank you. It's a little warm in here. And breathe. All right. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back to plank. Your choice. All the way down. Knees, chest, chin. Chaturanga. Nothing at all. Baby cobra, upward facing dog, and we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Breathing nice and slow. In your down dog, are your arms shoulder distance apart? Are your feet hip distance apart? Are you pressing into your pointer finger, your thumb, and the other 3 fingers that always get left out? Put your left leg up behind you. Reach your heel up a little bit further. Can you balance here with one leg in the air? And now bring that left knee all the way forward, bringing your left foot in between your hands. Plant your right hand, twist up and open to the left. Breathe here. Bring your left hand back towards your foot at the back of your mat, down to the floor, and then reach both arms out and up, coming into a high lunge. Straighten your front leg and exhale back into that high lunge. Take a breath here. Turn your right heel down, open into your warrior 2. Breathing here. Straighten your front leg, turn both toes to the right. Come into warrior two to the back of your mat, bending your right knee, reaching your arms away from you. Sit here. Reach both arms up, turn your toes, and come into warrior two at the front of your mat. Turn your left palm up, exhale back, peaceful warrior. Feel your side body grow as you reach back. And then bring your left forearm to your left thigh as you reach your right arm up to the ceiling and then overhead towards me. Drop your left hip a little bit deeper. Press into the outer edge of your right foot. And breathe. Bring your right hand to your chest, to heart center. And now we're going to shift into a lunge, bending our right leg, coming into a wide side lunge. You can put your hands down on the mat if you need them. Sitting down, stretching the inner part of your left thigh. Weight in your right foot. Now keeping your hands on the floor, walk around to your left foot, place one hand on either side of your left foot, reach your right heel back behind you, and then step your left foot back to plank. Go through your version of your vinyasa. Knees, chest, chin, chaturanga. And we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Float your right leg up behind you. Keep that leg nice and straight. Flex the foot, kneecap points down to the mat. Balance here on two arms, one leg. And now step the right foot all the way up between your hands. Plant your left hand down, twist up to the right. Feel your left heel reach back away from you. Drop your right hip, twist from your belly button. Reach your right arm back towards the back of your mat, down to the floor, and then lift both arms up overhead into high lunge. Straighten the front leg, bend back into your high lunge. Turn your left heel down and open into warrior two. Breathe here, arms at shoulder height. Maybe you need to relax your shoulders a little bit. And then lift up, bring both toes to the long side of your mat, turn to the back of your mat, coming into warrior two. Breathe here. Come back through center, arms and legs straight, warrior two, back to the front of the mat. Turn your right palm up, exhale back, peaceful warrior. Big side stretch. Come into side angle, right forearm on right thigh, reach the left arm up and over. Drop your right hip, press into the outer edge of your left foot. Draw your left hand to heart center and then start to shift your weight into your back leg, coming into this wide lunge. Your right toes are flexing up to the ceiling. You're getting a big stretch on your right inner thigh. Bring your hands down to the mat if you need to. Shift the weight back into your left heel. So your butt is reaching back behind you. And now put your hands on the ground and slowly walk to the front of your mat. Place one hand on either side of your right foot. Slide your right foot back to plank. Go through your version, your vinyasa, adding heat or skipping it to take a break. And then we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Breathing here, letting your hips reach up to the ceiling. Heels getting heavy. Float your left leg up behind you. Draw your left knee in. Slide the left foot up between your hands, low lunge. Plant your right hand, reach your left arm all the way up to the ceiling. Press down a little bit more with the right arm. Reach the left arm back behind you, opening through the chest. Bring your fingers down to the ground, reach them out and up. High lunge. Straighten your front leg and bend back down. We're going to do that a couple more times this round. Straighten and bend. One more time. And bend. Turn your right heel down. Open into warrior two. Pause here. Straighten both legs. Reach your arms up overhead. Turn yourself to the back of your mat. Warrior two to the back of your mat. Breathe here. This time we're going to pause in the middle. So turn your toes to the long side of your mat. Reach your arms up overhead. Bring them down to heart center. Your feet are parallel. Yep. Draw your belly in. Hinge at your hips as you reach your heart forward, coming into a forward fold. Let your fingers come down to the ground to help you, to guide you. Try and keep your back nice and long. And when you're ready, let your head hang heavy. Take one more deep breath here, and then slowly roll yourself all the way back up, bringing your arms all the way back up to the ceiling. And warrior two to the front of the mat. Turn your left palm up, exhale back, peaceful warrior. This time, think about taking your right arm around your lower back. This keeps you from putting too much pressure and really lifting up out of your waist as you extend back. Now we're going to flow into our side angle. Stay here for a breath and then go back into our peaceful warrior. And then back into our side angle. One more time, into our peaceful warrior. And back to side angle. Bring one hand to your chest as you shift the weight coming into that wide lunge. Now bring your hands down to the floor or keep them at heart center and shift your weight from the back leg to the front leg. And now back to the back leg. Bring your hands to the floor if they're not already there. Walk them around to your front foot. Keep both hands on the inside of your left foot. Lower your right knee down, coming into a lizard pose. Open your heart forward. Take your right hand and left hand, and gently press your left leg open. Take a small little back bend here. One more breath. And then place your left hand on the outside of your left foot. Lift your right knee. Come back to plank. Choose your vinyasa. Knees, chest, chin. Chaturanga. Baby cobra. Upward facing dog. And we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Breathe here. Reach your right leg up behind you, nice and lifted. And then bend your right knee, slide it up between your hands, low lunge. Plant your left hand down, twist up to the right. Reach your left heel back, drop your right hip, twist from your torso. Reach your right arm back behind you, down to the floor, and then all the way up into your high lunge. Straighten your front leg, bend your front leg, squaring your hips to the front of the mat. 2 more times. One more time. Turn your left heel down, open into your warrior two. Sit your hip down. Bring your arms up to the ceiling, straighten your leg, turn into warrior two to the back of the mat. Pressing into the outer edge of the right foot. Turn towards the long side of your mat, bringing your arms up overhead and then to heart center. Lengthen your tailbone, exhale, hinge forward. Bringing your arms down to the ground as you need them. Coming down as far and as deep as is comfortable. Keeping your hips up over your heels. Pressing into the outer edges of your feet. The weight is ever so slightly towards the toes. And now slowly roll up one vertebra at a time, pressing into the outer edges of your feet, engaging your inner thighs, reaching all the way up to the ceiling, and then warrior two to the front of your mat. Fingertips reach away from you. Turn your right palm up, exhale back, peaceful warrior. Go ahead and bring those left fingers around so that you can feel big side body stretch. And now let's flow, side angle. And then back to peaceful. Inner thighs engaged to help you with balance. A lot of core work, lower body, and grace. One more time, peaceful. And now this time we'll stay in side angle. You can bring your hand to heart center and then start to shift your weight to your back leg, coming into a wide lunge. And then shift your weight to your front leg. And then back to your back leg. And if your hands aren't already down on the ground, go ahead and bring them down. Walk them towards the front of your mat, keeping them on the inside of your right foot. Lower your left knee down, untuck the toes. Bring your right hand to your right knee, inner thigh, and then gently press it away, opening your heart. One more breath here. And then place your right hand on the outside of your right foot. Maybe you need to walk your right foot back into the center. Curl your left toes under. Extend your right leg back to meet it in plank. Go through your version of your vinyasa. Knees, chest, chin. Chaturanga, whatever feels good. We're pretty warm, so it's also okay to skip it all together. And we'll meet in down dog. Breathing here in our down dog, hips lifted nice and high. Put your left leg up behind you. Step your left foot all the way forward. Plant your right hand, twist up to the left. Reach your right heel back. Bring your left arm all the way behind you, down and up into high lunge. Breathe here. Straighten your front leg. This time we'll pull down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull down. Inhale, lengthen. Keep your arms lifted as you sit back down. Turn your right heel down. Open into your warrior two. Drawing your belly button in. Straighten your leg. Bring your arms up. Turn into your warrior two to the back of the mat. Breathe here. Turn both feet to the long side of your mat. Bring your heels in, toes out. Come into your goddess pose. Pulling your elbows down. Now think about drawing your belly button in, lengthen your tail down, take the arch out of your back. Maybe you lift up a little bit higher. There you go. Nice. One more breath here. And warrior two to the front of your mat. Turn your left palm up, exhale back, peaceful warrior. Bring your right arm behind you. Go ahead and flow into your side angle. Back to your peaceful. Back to your side angle. One more time, peaceful. And side angle. Breathe here. Bring your one or both hands to heart center and then shift your weight into your right leg, coming into that side lunge. Shift back to the front of the mat. Shift back to the back of the mat. Walk yourself around to lizard, both hands on the inside of your left foot. Maybe this time you keep the back knee lifted or you lower it down. Come onto your forearms if that's available, or if you have a block. Now, when you're here, try not to round and hunch. Try and still keep your heart open, your chest open. So maybe your arms need to be out more in front of you. Take one more breath here and then slide your hands, one hand on either side of your front foot. Step back to plank. Go through your vinyasa. And we'll all meet in downward facing dog. So this is our last round. Find your down dog. Float your right leg up behind you. Step your right foot all the way forward. Plant your left hand down, twist up to the right, right arm to the ceiling. Reach that right arm back behind you, down to the floor, and then both arms all the way up into your high lunge. Straighten your leg, pull your arms down. Lengthen and straighten. Pull your arms down. Lengthen and straighten. Pull your arms down. Reach your arms up. Open into your warrior two. Breathe here. Bring your arms up overhead. Turn the warrior two to the back of your mat. Breathe here. Turn to the side of your mat. Bring your heels in so your toes are turned out. Come and sit into your goddess. Arms either in cactus or at your heart center. And maybe this time you want to do a little swing. Maybe it feels a little bit better. Nice. And then we'll exit warrior two to the front of our mat. Turn your right palm up, exhale back, peaceful warrior. And then come into side angle. Or your version. Peaceful. And then side angle. And peaceful. And side angle. Bring your hand to heart center. Shift your weight until your back foot coming into that wide side lunge. Shift into your front leg, side lunge. Back into your back leg. And now walk your hands towards your front foot, coming into lizard. So both hands on the inside of your right leg. Maybe you keep your knee lifted, maybe you don't. Maybe you can come down to your forearms. Maybe your place of openness is with both arms stretched out in front of you. Hug that right knee in towards the right shoulder. One more breath here. Slide your arms back. One hand on either side of your right foot. Step back to plank. Go through your version of your vinyasa. And we will meet in downward facing dog. Breathe here in down dog. Lower your knees down. Cross your ankles and roll back, extending your legs out in front of you. Shift your weight side to side. Dig your heels into the mat, slightly bend your knees. Reach your arms up. Now your tendency is to sway your back. I want you to think about pulling yourself in so your shoulders are over your hips. And now reach towards your toes. You may or may not get there. Bend your knees so that you can get there. Wrap your two peace fingers around your big toes. Bend your knees as much as you need to lay your stomach on your thighs. And then start to inch, centimeter, millimeter, your heels away from you. Maybe you can come into a deeper forward fold. Maybe not. Maybe you want to let your head bend forward, letting your spine round. Inch your feet a little bit further away from you, coming into a slightly deeper forward fold. And then release your feet, roll up one vertebra at a time. Slide the soles of your feet onto the floor, your knees up to the ceiling, reach your arms out in front of you. We're gonna roll down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Open your arms into a T. Cross your right leg over your left leg. Maybe you can make that double cross here. Lift your knees up to the ceiling. Flex your left foot like you're standing on the ground. Draw your knees in towards your chest. With your arms open, bring your right arm over your left. Double, single, or double wrap your arms. Breathe here. Eagle arms, eagle legs. Now draw your belly button down and see if you can connect your knees and your elbows together. You probably can't, but think about it. As you reach your elbows away from you, pretend, envision that you're standing on the floor, balancing on one leg. Shift your hips. Inhale, gaze out. One more breath here, and then slowly unwind your arms, lay them down on the floor. Unwind your legs, place one foot on either side of your mat. Tick-tock your knees or windshield wiper your legs side to side. All right, let's do the other side. Cross your left leg over your right. Maybe you can take that double wrap. Flex your right foot. Envision that you're standing on the ground. Your hips are sitting back, so that means your knees are coming closer to your chest. And now wrap your left arm over your right. Maybe take that double bind. Breathe here. On your exhale, think about drawing your knees and your elbows closer together, keeping your heart open, keeping your shoulders relaxing. This should be a little exhausting. This should feel like a lot of work. But we have the comfort, the safety of knowing that we're on our backs instead of trying to balance on one foot. Drop your right hip. Take one more breath here. Release your arms. Uncross your legs. Place each foot on either side of your mat. And now windshield wiper your legs side to side. So nice. We're going to do our figure four on our back tonight instead of doing the pigeon pose. So bring your right leg up to the ceiling. Cross your right ankle on top of your left knee. So we're going to go through this a little slower than normal. Take your right hand, press your right thigh away from you. Make sure you're pressing into the entire bottom of your left foot. Now lift your left shin so it's parallel to the mat. Still press that right leg away from you. Bring your knee over your hip. You should be able to see your figure four. Reach through that hole, place both hands on the back of your left thigh, and now slowly draw the left knee towards you using your right elbow to press your right thigh away from you. Going slow. Think about your lower back, your shoulder blades, and the back of your head all connecting with the mat. Now bring your left foot, sole of your foot, closer up to the ceiling. Flex your right foot. Release your left leg, open your arms into a T or cactus, and now shift your feet over to the left. So your right foot comes down onto the mat and the outer edge of your left leg is on the mat. Gaze over your right shoulder. Breathe here. And now slowly roll back up to center. Extend both legs up to the ceiling. Maybe you give them a little shake, maybe a little bicycle pedal, and then place both feet down on the mat, knees to the ceiling. Extend the left leg up to the ceiling. Flex the foot. Bend the left knee, place the left ankle on the right knee, and then take your left hand and press your left thigh away. Feel the opening on your left inner hip, inner thigh. And now lift the right shin so it's parallel with the floor. And then keep pushing the left thigh as you draw the right knee so it's over the right hip. Breathing here. Now looking at your figure four, reach your left arm and your right arm behind your right thigh. As you guide your right thigh closer to your chest, use your left elbow to press the left thigh away from you. Breathing nice and slowly. Flex your right foot, maybe press it up to the ceiling. Flex your left foot. And now release your arms into a T and bring your left foot over to the right. So the outer edge of your right leg and your left foot are on the ground. Your arms are open wide. Gaze over your left shoulder. And breathe. Slowly roll back onto your back. Bring one foot to either side of your mat. You can windshield wiper your legs. And then bring both legs so that your feet are pointing away from you. And you can tickle your heels with your middle fingers. And then lengthen your spine. See if you can get your spine nice and straight. The back of your head is on the ground. Your shoulders are open. We're going to take a couple bridge poses. We'll do 2 tonight. So if you want to do a wheel and that's in your practice, you can go ahead and do that on the second one. Otherwise, we're going to do 2 bridges. So with your feet pressing down, your palms pressing down onto your mat, start to peel your hips up one vertebra at a time, lifting up, pressing your hips to the air, your chest towards your chin. When you've gone as high as you can, maybe you interlace your fingers behind your back, shimmying your shoulders together to get a little bit deeper. Lifting your belly button up. Pull your thighs in so they're parallel. Press down into your heel, your big toe and your pinky toe. And then slowly release your arms, come down one vertebra at a time. All the way down. Bring your knees to touch, shimmy your feet to the outer edges of your mat. Maybe bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart, and rest here. All right, we're going to prepare for our second bridge. So bring your feet back in so that they're parallel. So some options here are to take another bridge, take a wheel. Maybe you're ready for a more restorative pose, like putting a block under your hips or your legs straight up into the air. Otherwise, palms down, press into your feet, peel yourself up one vertebra at a time. When you're as high as you're comfortable going, press your feet down and then interlace your hands behind your back, shimmy your shoulders together to give yourself an even deeper back bend. The back of your head is resting on the mat. The chest is moving towards your chin. Breathe here. 2 more long, slow, deep breaths. And then release your arms and slowly come all the way back down. Bring your knees to touch, your feet to the edges of your mat. One hand to your heart, one hand to your chest. At this time, you can go ahead and take any pose that you need to take, anything that maybe we missed that you didn't get to. Maybe you need a happy baby or shoulder stand, or maybe you need nothing at all and you're ready to move into your Shavasana. When you're ready, bring one hand away from your body, bring the other hand away from your body, let your arms get heavy. Extend your legs, let your legs get heavy. As you move into this stillness, I'm going to come around with some lavender oil. If that is something you're not interested in, just give me a little wave and I'll know to give you your space. All right, I want you to close your eyes if you're comfortable doing that. And then think about extending your arms and legs as far as you can away from you. Getting nice and long. And then on your exhale, without moving, envision pulling everything back into the center. So feel all the energy come back in through your fingers, your arms, through your toes, through your legs, back into the center. And then without moving, envision that energy extending back out, all the way out, all the way to your fingertips, all the way to your toes. One more time without moving, draw all that energy back in, hold it in, maybe even take a big inhale and retain that breath. And then exhale, let it all relax out, flowing out into your fingers, out into your toes. And then let your body move into stillness, getting nice and heavy. If you're ready to come out of your Shavasana, then you can go ahead and join me. If you want to stay in it for longer, then please go ahead and honor that. If you're ready, start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Let your head gently rock side to side. Maybe you reach your arms up overhead like you're taking a big stretch from your fingertips to your toes. Take your time, no rush. And then slowly roll onto one side. And we'll hang out here, feeling the blood shift from the right to the left, from the top to the bottom. And then when you're ready, slowly press yourself up into a seated position. And when you're sitting nice and tall, bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. If it's comfortable, close your eyes or softly gaze at the floor in front of you. Feel your breath, feel your heartbeat, feel all of that life and energy moving around inside of you. Thank yourself for taking this time to spend some time just you and your mat, doing something just for you. And I thank you all for allowing me to lead you through this practice. Namaste.